Hello, I'm Onitson, and this is the latest episode of Experimental Deck Building, my series in which I explore deck ideas that I find interesting and then set them through a rigorous series of testing to try to make the concepts, refine them into the best decks they can be. Today we will be doing the second test for the Shadows of the Wild Fellowship, which is a joint Hobbit Dunedain fellowship designed around not engaging enemies, ideally. So today's quest is going to be a knife in the dark, and I have therefore replaced Frodo Baggins, the spirit version, with Fatty Bolger, who had the same threat cost and a similar ability to raise your threat to do something, is going to fill a similar niche in this deck, except for the fact that we won't be able to take damage on Fatty as threat like we would on Frodo, which is unfortunate. On the other hand, with Pippin we can avoid engaging enemies, and I have begun to wonder if Fatty doesn't work better in this deck than Frodo, because if we're trying to avoid engaging enemies until we really need to, then using Pippin's ability, then Frodo's ability to soak undefended attacks, or defended attacks depending, is not particularly useful. Anyways, we will see how it turns out as we run through this quest. And if Fatty turns out to be clutch, then we may swap heroes out for future deck tests. So, with that said, let's take a look at our opening hands. I haven't made any changes to the decks yet, although there have been some I've been considering. We'll talk about those more later as the decks start moving on through the quest. This opening hand is frankly just not great. I would really like to mulligan it. There's none of the cards that I'm really looking for in an opening hand right in here, so we're going to go ahead and take our mulligan. Double copy Resourceful and a Test of Will. I mean, as far as these things go, it's a slightly better start, but I really would have liked to have seen a Hobbit Pipe. Oh well. With the second deck, I don't need to mulligan. This is a fine opening hand. Fast Hitch and Peace and Thought alone would guarantee it a place, so I've added Gather Information as per Thuridyr's setup action. And we are now, I think, ready to play, so let's go ahead and get started. Trouble in Bree. Setup, we set aside all copies of Ringwraith, the Witch King, Midwater, and Weathertop, which are, here are Ringwraiths, Weathertop, Midwater, and the Witch King, and we have the Prancing Pony and Bill Ferny in the staging area. The Prancing Pony response after the player's travel here. The first player puts one ally into play from his hand. We have nothing here that's useful to put into play via that effect, especially not the Curious Brandy Book, because he will be leaving play as soon as we explore a location, so that would be a waste. But deck 2 does have this wonderful East Road Ranger and the potential to find an even better card to put into play via the effect with Peace and Thought. So Bill Ferny cannot be optionally engaged, and at the beginning of the staging step, we either shuffle one out of play Ringwraith into the encounter deck, or every player raises their threat by one for each non-fellowship hero we commit to the quest. That is going to be annoying. and I'm not 100% sure what to do about it at the moment, so we're just going to go ahead and get started. Drawing a Dunedain Pathfinder, very nice. Drawing Build a Pony, also nice. Deck 1, we'll start by playing a pair of Resourcefuls. I suppose I could cancel. I suppose I could save that Fellowship resource for canceling with Frodo, but I do have a Test of Will. So, oh, I should flip that over now. We cannot advance while the Prancing Pony's in play. Well, we're going to leave it up there for a little while, I think. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to play out some Resourcefuls. There and there, I think. Saving a resource for a Test of Will. Playing out a Dunedain Pathfinder. Looking at the top 5 cards for a location. There are none. So we lose the Pathfinder. That's unfortunate, but not much we can do. Over here, let's play a Fast Hitch onto Sam, play a Dunedain Warning onto Sam, and put Build the Pony into play for free, and also play Gather Information. We are going to quest to gather information, and I'm going to quest for 4 over here, raising your threat by 1. And over here we're going to quest for 2, 4, 7, 8, raising our threat by 3. So we've committed 12 against 5. The first card we reveal, Treachery. Power in their terror. Each ally gets -1 willpower until the end of the round, and deal 2 damage to each ally with 0 willpower. That would kill Build the Pony. That's the only thing it would do, is to kill Build the Pony. Do I want to spend a Test of Will on that? You know, there are worse things in the world than losing Build the Pony. Second card of staging. Unwanted attention. Either remove 2 heroes you control from the quest, or shuffle an out-of-play Ringwraith into the encounter deck. Well, we'll remove Thurindir and Volkoboffin, dropping us down to 7 willpower against 5 threat. Against 4 threat. Or, no, yes, against 5 threat. We need 4 progress on Gather Information, so Fatty Bolger will raise their threat by 3 to cancel Bill Fernie's threat. And we make 5 progress on Gather Information, pulling up double back into our hand, and over here pulling up Send for Aid into our hand. We'll refresh, but not yet go to the new round. Having done so, as a refresh action, I will spend a resource from Volko to exhaust 2 heroes. to draw 5 cards. Alright. And now we'll go on to the next turn. Frodo has changed control. Right there. We deliberately, by the way, did not travel to the Prancing Pony, so that we can put into play a high-cost ally, either the Ceased Road Ranger or Thalion, currently being proxied by a Ranger of Cardolan. So, Sam will spend his resource to play up Send for Aid, and I really think we want Robin Smallborough. And we'll save that Legacy Blade. We'll save that out. And let's do a little bit of reorganizing here. Get our attachments, our allies, and our events all right up next to each other. That's everything I think we want to do today. Oh, Thurindir has an extra willpower. Important to note. We're also going to play double back. Right there. Also, let's set up the automatic additional resources per round due to resourceful, and add the ones for this round. And we have nothing useful to do. That's more than a little bit annoying, actually. We need to get some card draw online. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and commit to the quest. We're going to be questing to Send for Aid, and I think we still want to go all out. 2 for Frodo, 3 for Thurindir, 3 for Sam. That's 8. 10 with Robin Smallborough, and we raise our threat by 2. All over here, we'll just commit Pippin, raising our threat by 1. So 2, 4, 6, 9, 12. Again. 12 against 5 in the staging area. We need to make 6 progress. We can cancel 3 threat. That will put us at 12 versus 2. We would need to reveal less than 4 threat to do this successfully. Well, there we have it. The first card we reveal. Unwanted Attention. Either remove 2 heroes we control from the quest, or shuffle an out-of-play Ringwraith into the encounter deck. That would remove 5 willpower. Unless I cancel it with 1 ring, which I think I will do. Instead, we reveal a Squint-Eyed Southerner, and I will play a Test of Will to cancel that when revealed effect. Our second card of staging, Lure of the Ring. First player, we're raising our threat by 3. That's exciting. And it surges. Oh, into another one. That's really exciting. It also surges into a Shady Breelander who cannot be optionally engaged. Well, that was exciting. We've added 4 threat to the staging area. We'll exhaust Fatty Bolger to target Bill Ferning, raising our threat by 3. and making 6 progress on Send for Aid, because we cancelled Bill Fernie's threat. And now we will look at the top 10 cards of our deck and put Glorfindel into play. I'm really tempted to actually grab Bilbo Baggins instead of Glorfindel. Is that weird? Actually, I mean, Glorfindel's the nice, expensive one who's the ideal target for Send for Aid, but right now I need Hobbit Pipes because I need card draw, and resources are not an issue for me. So we immediately get a Hobbit Pipe into our hand, which we'll play next round. Over here, Halbrad. Most definitely Halbrad. Which we got for free. Okay, these enemies are not going to be causing too many problems. It is now the travel phase. Travel to the Prancing Pony, which means we will put Thalion into play for free. Which means that, well, it means potentially a number of things. We're going to be engaging these 2 enemies. Unless we play Take No Notice and cancel and raise their engagement costs by 5. In which case we would only engage a Shady Breelander, whom we could block with Sam, and then strike back at for 4. That's not great. We couldn't stop it. Oh, and Mary should have exhausted on the second enemy when I knew there was not going to be another enemy. Mary should have exhausted to reduce our threat by 2. I forgot to do that. That's a significant part of running the deck, is remembering actually to trigger Mary every time an enemy is revealed. Ooh. When we travel to the Prancing Pony, we could spend a resource from one of our Spirit Hobbits to raise each enemy's engagement cost by 4 via Robin Smallborough's effect. That would leave us only engaging the Shady Breelander again, and we could even avoid that with Take No Notice, which might be desirable, actually. So let us do so via Robin Smallborough's effect. All enemies have effectively plus 4 engagement cost. The Shady Breelander will engage automatically. Because of Halbrad, his engagement cost is now 38 plus 4, 42. So Sam readies and gets plus 1 defense. Sam is defending for 3. Sam will defend for 3. Attacking enemy makes an additional attack after this one, which we'll block with Thalion because it doesn't make a difference. Nothing happens, so Thalion takes a damage. And Halbrad strikes back, putting a damage on the Shady Breelander. Everybody will ready up. We'll draw in the shadows. Could be useful, and a Wandering Took. Deck 1 controls Frodo now. Let's move Bilbo over to the other side. Let's also immediately play a Hobbit Pipe. Spend 3 on a Galadrim's Greeting to drop our threat to 21, drawing a card. Glorfindel. Huh. Who'd have thought it? I'm certain that I shuffled... I did. I shuffled the deck after pulling out that Hobbit Pipe. Actually now, I'm going to spend 5 to get Glorfindel into play, and then 1 to play the Dwarven Tomb to return the Galadrim's Greeting to my hand. Next turn we'll play it again on this deck. Over here, Thurindir is up to 4 willpower now. Sam will spend a resource for another Dúnedain warning. We'll also spend a resource to put a Dúnedain Pipe under Thurindir. And we will move that to the bottom of the deck to draw a card. Hobbit Cloak. That will be important. Maybe we should have done that originally. Our next play will be to put the Strode Ranger into play. So, we will quest to double back. We need to make 8 progress. There's 5 threat in the staging area. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Raising our threat by 1. 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13. Raising our threat by 2. Count that again. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. We are now questing for 22 against 5. We need to make 8 progress. You know, I'm going to keep Thurindir off the quest and save my threat by 1 point there. That means we're only questing for 18 against 5. And that is something we can deal with. First reveal, Chetwood, which boosts some attack and defense. Second reveal, Piercing Cry. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for a Nazgul enemy. That's fine. What do our Nazgul enemies look like? Okay. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. And how many Nazgul enemies are there? Just the 2 it looks like. Let's pull 1 out of the deck. And shuffle. So we've added 6 threat to the staging area, which means we are making... Let's take a look at the... Okay, we added it to the staging area, so we cannot trigger Mary, which is very unfortunate. So now let's take a look. We are making currently 7 progress. If I exhaust Fatty to cancel the Squint-Eyed Southerner's threat... Oh, wait. Chetwood has boosted the threat of Bill Fernie and the Squint-Eyed Southerner. So now that's 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're making 5 progress. We need to make 3 more. So yeah, cancel Squint-Eyed Southerner's threat, raising our threat by 3. We now make 8 progress, which is enough to go and victory display, which means we're now discarding 1 enemy, 2 enemies. Engaged with the first player, and frankly, I'm okay taking a Squint-Eyed Southerner. The Shady Breelander, I'm going to use Pippin's ability to return to the staging area. Now we reduce our threat by 5 on both sides of the board. And we travel to the Chetwood, spending our last spirit resource to trigger Robin Smallborough, boosting engagement costs across the board by 2. We are being slightly overwhelmed here by enemies. We need to start getting rid of them. So let's toss a curious Brandybuck to ready Glorfindel. And now let's look at how engagements are going to look. That one has an engagement cost of 30, 37, 35, 40. Oh, and Double Back is now on the victory display. At the start of the combat phase, Thalion will ready. Okay, I think this guy is going to come down naturally unless we do nothing, which is not a thing we're going to do. So we'll take him, which will ready Sam, boosting his defense now to 4. Because this engagement cost now due to Halbrad is 40. Chetwood is no longer in the staging area, so spy enemies no longer gain +1 attack. At the start of the combat phase, Ranger or Thalion readies, and we deal out shadow cards. Then let's play In the Shadows for free. All of these enemies are, well, wait, will that make a difference? I need 4 attack to kill this one, and I have 4, and I'll need 5 attack, which I don't have, to kill this one. Okay, it won't make a functional difference. It won't let me kill an enemy I wouldn't otherwise be able to kill, so we're going to pass on it. Over here, we're going to defend with Glorfindel. No shadow effect. Glorfindel takes a damage. We'll discard the Wandering Took to ready him. Over here, Sam will block the first Shady Breelander. Ready. And block the second Shady Breelander. Discard non-objective attachment I control. Fine. Sam's now only at 3 defense, and is still just fine. And striking back, Glorfindel and Mary put a damage onto the Squint-Eyed Southerner. Thurindir and Folko kill a Shady Breelander, while Thalion puts a damage onto the next Shady Breelander. And we all ready up and take a look at our next phase. We draw a Test of Will. And we're going to spend 3 resources to play a Galadrim's Greeting on the lore deck, reducing its threat by 6. Frodo changes hands. Over here, we are going to spend 3 to put into play an East Road Ranger. We're going to spend 1 to put into play a Hobbit Cloak. Sam is now going to be defending for quite a lot, and we're going to be putting a Legacy Blade into play on Thalion. Thurindir now has 5 willpower, and Thalion has 5 attack. So we can now take a Nazgul. We can take out a Rider of Mordor without real issue, actually. We have more than enough attack power over here to now start doing things like that. Okay. Our card draw is not working out very well, and I don't like it. So, let's go into the quest phase, play Elrond's Council, dropping our threat by 3 and drawing a card. Dwarven Tomb. That's not nothing. We will boost Bilbo Baggins' willpower. He's now questing for 3. Glorfindel should probably quest 3 and 2 with Pippin, raising our threat by 1. Or not. Just quest for 5. And over here, we'll quest for 2, 4, 6, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5 plus 8. We're questing, at the moment, we're doing 13 against 9. We haven't committed any heroes. I can commit Sam for 3, Thurindir for 5 to add another 8 to that. Now we'll make it 21 against 9. And we will raise our threat by 2, but that's a thing we can do. It's a thing we can handle at the moment. How does our combat look? Sam can defend twice if we engage an enemy, and we can engage an enemy. Then we can attack back. 4 attack from East Road Ranger and Focal Buff, and we'll kill that. And Thalion has 5 attack and can kill any spy enemy in the game easily. Here we will block with Fatty Bulger, most likely, perhaps taking a damage, perhaps not, and then strike back with Glorfindel and Mary. Oh, we should have put 2 damage on last time. We did 3 attack from Glorfindel and 1 attack from Mary. So, yeah, we'll be able to strike back, kill the Squint-Eyed Southerner, even if we drop our threat with Mary. Okay. So, by the end of this turn, we should be down 3 enemies, and in a position to take the 4th. Okay. First reveal. Weather Hills. Second reveal. Shady Breelander, Mary will exhaust to drop our threat by 2. We've added 5 threat to the staging area. We are making 7 progress, which is fine. We will travel to the Weather Hills, placing the Rider of Mordor out of play underneath it. And spending a resource. No, there's no point. All of the enemies are above our engagement cost, so optionally engage the Shady Breelander, which readies Sam. And there we are. So, Sam will defend the first Shady Breelander. Oh, Thalion readies. And take -1 defense. He's currently defending for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against enemies with a higher engagement cost than his threat, which these are, so he's now defending only for 4. And now he'll defend against this one, also still for 4, and we're fine. Over here, Fatty Bulger will defend. No shadow effect, no damage. Attacking back, Folko and an East Road Ranger. 4 attack is enough to defeat that Shady Breelander, and the Ranger of Thalion will attack for 5, killing that Shady Breelander. Glorfindel attacked for 3. That's enough to take out a Squint-Eyed Southerner. And we will move on to turn 5. There we go. There we go. We will take an action and put Halbarad on the bottom of the deck, drawing a new card, another copy of Thalion. Unfortunate, but what can you do? While over here, we found Arwen. We will spend 2 resources to put her into play, and a resource on Dwarven Tomb to return the Galadrim's Greeting to hand, and 3 resources to play the Galadrim's Greeting, dropping our threat by 6 and exhausting a Hobbit Pipe to draw a single card. Okay. I don't have 2 cards in hand to get a Guardian of Rivendell into play, but I'm not sure I need one. We're going to be consistently targeting Sam with Arwen for the moment, so I'm just going to record that on his card there. Over here, we're going to spend a couple of resources to put into play a Halfling Bounder. Now we can, at need, cancel treacheries on both sides of the board. And what are the stats on that now? So we need 8 attack, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have sufficient. Okay. We are going to quest. I don't think we need to go all out. 3, there's currently 5 threat in the staging area, and we need to make 5 progress. So if we quest with Frodo, Pippin, Bilbo, and Arwen, we raise our threat by 1 and are questing for 2, 4, 6, 8, 11. With Glorfindel. I don't think we need. Let's leave Glorfindel for combat just in case, because we're going to get 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10? We can make making 18 and raise our threat by 1. 18. That's 13 progress. We'd have to reveal 7 threat. I think we're fine. The first reveal is Lure of the Ring. Either exhaust the 1 ring, which we will do, instead of raising threat by 3. But it surges. So the first card is Pathless Country, and the second card is Chetwood. So we've added 2, 4, 6. We make 7 progress, 2 on the Weather Hills, 5 on the first quest stage. We return the Nazgul to the staging area and advance the quest. When revealed, add Midwater to the staging area. And each player places 1 progress on the current quest. We cannot advance while Midwater is in play. And at the end of the round, we must either remove X progress from the quest or shuffle 1 out of play Ringwraith into the encounter deck. That I do not think is going to be a problem. I want to get Chetwood out. So we are going to do it like this. Deck 1 will optionally engage the Squint-Eyed Southerner. I want to clear some enemies out. Deck 2 will optionally engage the Rider of Mordor, which will ready Sam, who is now defending for 1, 5, 6 with his ability, I think. So 3, 4 with Arwen, 5 with his ability from readying. So Sam is defending for 6. So the first thing that will happen is, and at the start of the combat phase, Thalion readies. Sam will defend against that guy, who returns to the staging area. And will exhaust again to defend against the Rider of Mordor. 2, 4, 6, 11, more than enough. That's sufficient, I suppose. Ready up. And we draw Gandalf, which is fine. Dunedain Pipe to move this Ranger, or this excess copy of Thalion, and draw a card. Legacy Blade. Oh, there are 3 side quests in the victory display. So, Thalion is now a hero. And you know what? I'm going to put that Legacy Blade on Falco, who it seems like we will not be using to quest because of Bill Ferny's effect. So I should have gotten a resource this round, and probably last round too, but I'm not going to bother with that. Over here, oh, and at the end of the round we removed 2 progress from the quest. I think we're going to want to quest all out, raising our threat by however much we have to. In which case, we're going to spend 5 resources to get Gandalf into play. And if we're getting Gandalf into play, we're going to Actually, we're going to draw 3 cards with Gandalf, I think. And immediately I'm going to play Deep Knowledge because deck 1 rather strongly needs some cards. Oh, well, that's wonderful. We'll be in a much better position come next turn. We can get Rosie out. And over here, that's what we're going to do. We will play Galadriel's Handmaiden, reducing deck 2's threat by 1. And then we will play Garden of Rivendell, tossing Dunedain Pathfinder and Elven Light. And then we will shortly spend 1 to bring Elven Light back, and then discard it to ready Glorfindel, unless we need that resource for a Testicle instead. Alright, I'm feeling much, much better about where we're at. So, let's bring the Guardian down here. What I need, I suppose, is more room. I like having my unique characters up on the top row, the same general area as my heroes. Since Thalion is actually now a hero, let's put him there. And let's keep Frodo on closer. Oh, goodness gracious. I could have and should have spent a few of Frodo's resources to do that. Because Gandalf is a neutral card, I'd forgotten about Frodo's Ringbearer resources. Well, that was a mistake I made, so let's not compound the error, I suppose. So it's time to commit to the quest. Pippin, Bilbo, Glorfindel, Arwen, Galadriel's Handmaiden. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. Raise our threat by 1. Currently committing 11 to the quest. There is 2, 5, 7, 10 in the staging area. Over here, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So that means we are making 32, but I would have to raise my threat by 3. $32 against 10. No matter what I reveal, I'm going to put enough progress on this second quest stage that I don't need to worry about it. Well, let's save us some of the threat then by holding back Thalion, so we'll only raise our threat by 2. Alright, you know what? Let's hold back Thurindir and Sam too, and just not raise our threat at all. That's a possibility. What does that do? We drop by 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring it down to 22 against 10. 2, 4, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. Okay, no, we will raise our threat by 1 for Thurindir just to get that 5 willpower. 27 against 10. First reveal. The Nazgul, Mary says hallelujah. The second reveal, Chetwood, which boosts the threat of those 2 by 2. So we've added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We still make 9 progress. We clear Chetwood. And probably travel to the midwater. We can't engage enemies at all under these circumstances. I would really, really like to get rid of a squint-eyed southerner, but I don't think that is meant to be, so it's either that or stall a little longer while we clear out that, but we would just risk putting more enemies into the staging area, so let's travel to midwater while the getting is good. And actually, and we'll spend that last resource to bring Elven Light back to our hand and draw a card. Another Hobbit Pipe. Excellent. And another copy of Bilbo. Very good. Now, Gandalf is discarded. In the shadows. Okay. I'm going to use the Dunedin Pipe and nope, I'm going to want both of those, actually. I'm going to put Frodo over there. I don't know what to do with the Dunedin Pipe yet. You know what? Let's put that Imladris Caregiver on the bottom of the deck. The bottom of the deck, I said. And then draw a card, Peace and Thought. Okay. Thalion has a, it is not that deck's turn. First, we'll play a Hobbit Pipe, right there. And that is all we will do. If we have ways to exhaust Glorfindel, then we can get a lot of card draw out of Elven Light this round. Over here, now, we can spend 2 resources to play Rosy Cotton. And nothing else. Not at the moment. We'll get that extra East Road Ranger out eventually. Oh, and we pulled 2 progress off of that. So far, we're avoiding putting any ring wraiths into play, which is very good. Now I guess let's commit to the quest. We're going to want to clear Midwater and put at least 1 progress there. 2, 6, 8, 10, 13 threat in the staging area. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, raising our threat by 1. Discarding Elven Light to ready Glorfindel, spending resource to bring it back to hand and to draw another card. And over here, so currently 13, over here 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 23. That makes 23. 26. We raise our threat by 2. And our first reveal is a Pale Blade. It surges. Is it worth canceling? I mean, it's just +1 attack. Brings it up to 5 attack. Sam is still defending for 6. There are worse things out there, yep. Okay, Pathless Country, and player 2's card, Weather Hills. Oh, very, very good. So we've added 5 threat to the staging area. And actually there's 2 more because of the Chetwood. That was an important bit to notice. So let's try that again. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We're making 6 progress at the moment. So let's exhaust Fatty Bulger to cancel the Squint-Eyed Southerner's threat. Now we're making 9 progress, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've cleared Midwater, and we advance the quest. When revealed, add Weathertop and the Witch King to the staging area. Search the encounter deck and discard pile and add each Nazgul enemy. Neither of those are Nazgul enemies. However, discard an attachment and attacking enemy makes an additional attack. That is going to be something to be aware of. There's another Rider of Mordor in the encounter deck. Okay, that is all of the Nazgul enemies. Alright. Weathertop's immune to player card effects. And now, if there are no Nazgul enemies in play, the players win the game. It is now the travel phase. Is that all? Okay. We're going to travel to the Weather Hills and put this Nazgul and his blade underneath them. So, this is where we're at. Almost no matter what we do, and I was supposed to shuffle that after I looked at it. One of these enemies is going to make a second attack. The other one is going to force me to discard. Frankly, no, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Deck 1 will optionally engage that Squint-Eyed Southerner. And deck 2 will optionally engage the Witch King, I suppose, which will ready Sam to be sure, and let this Rider of Mordor engage naturally, which they will. 35 engagement cost, or 35 threat. We did not spend a resource to trigger Robin Smallrow's ability. Sam is now boosted twice. And And I'm going to need to defend 3 attacks. I suppose Arwen should have been targeting that Guardian of Rivendell. But she wasn't. She was targeting Sam. So probably what we're going to do is throw an East Road Ranger under the bus. Worse things have happened. Deal out shadow cards. Oh. Interesting possibility. Glorfindel will block the Squint-Eyed Southerner, who makes an additional attack. We will discard and then spend a resource to return Elven Light to hand, drawing another card to ready Glorfindel. Squint-Eyed Southerner makes another attack. We'll block with Mary, taking a point of damage. There are no shadow cards remaining in the encounter deck. Over here, I now know that this card will force me to discard an attachment. So, Sam will block. We are defending for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with Arwen, 6, 7 because we engaged 2 enemies against the Witch King's 6 attack. Discard a non-objective attachment. We're still defending for 6. Ready Sam. And actually, okay. And Sam will now block the rider of... Wait, just a moment. How much can I get? 5, 10, 12 with Rosie, 14, which is enough to kill the Witch King. Okay. Alright, that's a thing we can do. So yes, Sam will block the Rider of Mordor. The Guardian of Rivendell and Glorfindel will now attack and kill the Squint-Eyed Southerner. And Folkobopfin will attack for 2 plus 3 from Legacy Blade. So, plus 2 will exhaust Rosie Cotton Dad her willpower to Folko's attack. He's now attacking for 7. Plus 5 from Thalion, plus 2 for the East Road Ranger is 14, which is enough to defeat the Witch King. And that is all we can do. We're going to refresh, spend a resource, exhausting Thurindir and Sangamgee, and playing Peace and Thought to draw 5 cards. Okay. And we will use the pipe to put the extra copy of Rosie on the bottom of the deck and draw a card. And there's Deep Knowledge. Oh, and we should have discarded Elven Light to ready Glorfindel at the... Oh no, Glorfindel would have refreshed before we had an opportunity. So, we'll just go straight ahead to the next turn. Frodo will move over here. Did we get anything useful? No, just another copy of Rosie. We'll play out Scout Ahead because we can. We're going to be questing. We can either play it very, very safe and try to avoid clearing the weather hills and then killing that Nazgul, or we can just throw caution to the winds and clear Scout Ahead and pick our shadow cards, which I like a little better. We'll play a second Legacy Blade onto Thalion as well. And we're going to play a Deep Knowledge as well. I was kind of looking for a Gandalf. Or some other threat reduction. But that is fine. We will play a Dunedain Warning and a Hobbit Cloak onto Fatty Bolger, who can now, if need, defend for 5, and Arwen can boost that to 6 and give him a Sentinel. And because we can, play out another East Road Ranger. Alright, time to send people to the quest. Frodo, and Sam, and Thalion, and the Rangers, I think. That makes 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17, and we'll raise our threat by 2 for that. Oh, I forgot to play cards over here. I'm going to play a Steed of Imladris onto Pippin. Ooh. 2 progress on to the active location would actually not be a good thing. It would, well, let's see, currently we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's currently 14 threat in the staging area, and doing that would make it 18. Welcome quest for 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, discarded and drawn. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Making it 28. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 29 against 14. We need to make 4 progress. No, you know, I am going to discard that to place 2 progress there. We draw a card because I'm pulling it back. Oh, very good. We're going to bring the Nazgul back. Unfortunately, now there's 18. But that's okay. We'll reveal power in their terror, which is not a peril thing, but still I'm going to discard the Halfling Bounder to cancel it, reducing our willpower by 1. And the second reveal is Unwanted Attention. This is for player 2, which in this case is deck 1. Either remove 2 heroes we control for the quest, or shuffle and out play Ringwraith into the encounter deck. And because I have the resources, we're going to spend a resource for a testable to cancel that. So we make 10 progress, adding scout ahead to the staging area, or to the victory display. Looking at the top, 6 cards, of which I can add 1 to the victory display, which really doesn't matter, because this should be the last turn of the game. We will choose the Witch King to go as a shadow card, and this Black Breath to go as a shadow card, and if we need to do one more turn, we will have the Squint-Eyed Southerner and the Pathless Country show up. Or, no, we'll have the Pathless Country and Piercing Cry show up, and player 2, or deck 2 will be the second player, and we'll have another Halfling Bounder out to cancel that peril. So, that is where we are going. We will travel to Weathertop, which forces us to exhaust the 1 ring, which gives it minus 10 engagement cost, but we're going to spend a resource to, oh yes, Arwen was targeting Fatty. Not Sam this time around. Sam will actually only be defending for 4 this time. That's fine. So, we've increased engagement costs by 4. So this is 39 minus 10 is 29. And now we will play that and that to increase engagement costs across the board by 10. Optionally engage the Rider of Mordor, who with Halbrad is plus 10, with the events we played is plus 10, which is still more than enough to ready Sam Gamgee using his effect. And Bill Fernie's engagement cost at this point is higher than 50, so we're going to be fine. So now we'll deal out shadow cards, and Sam will defend for 4 against that Rider of Mordor, and Fatty Bulger will defend for 6 against that Rider of Mordor. Oh, and Thalion readied. Thalion now has 8 attack on his own. Oh, we're going to be 1 attack short. Oh, that's just annoying. So 8 attack on his own is enough to defeat 1 Rider of Mordor, and Folkelboffen will attack for 5. Rosie Cotton will add her willpower to his attack, so he's attacking for 7. And I will play In the Shadows to lower that defense by 1. We kill a Rider of Mordor, and we have won the quest. That was a fun playthrough. I really enjoyed myself on that one. I don't know if you could tell. I suppose over here I should have played Eleven's removing Pippin and Bilbo from the quest, just to lower my threat by 2, and draw a couple more cards with the Hobbit Pipes. Just for fun, what would have happened if I had done that? I would have still certainly made more than enough progress to clear the scout ahead. So if I had done that, okay, I've gotten another one, and so we could have dropped back down below 20 threat. And that would have been a new score of 124. Not that score matters much. It's not a useful metric, but it's still sometimes fun to take a look at. So, let's analyze how our decks went. It would have been really nice to have had a way to pull Bill Ferny out of the staging area. Having him sitting there and forcing us to increase our threat constantly was annoying. Our card draw was not as nice this game as it has been in the past for us, but still we managed to get everything we need. We muddled along until we had the cards we needed, and then we exploded, as it were. I think it was the right choice to pull Bilbo out and get the Hobbit Pipe, rather than getting Glorfindel for free with that Send for Aid quest. The Hobbit Pipes are so key to the function of Deck 1 here. If we don't have that draw and a consistent diet of threat-reducing events, then we can find ourselves without enough options. For Deck 2, we got just about everything we needed out. It turned out to be lucky for us. We managed to get both Halbrad and Thalion into play for free using quest effects. It might be worth seeing if we can drop something, perhaps one of the Legacy Blades, and something else, to include a couple of Elf Stones, just to be able to put Halbrad into play without having to save up 4 resources. If, say, for example, Send for Aid fails to find a copy of him, it would be nice to be able to get him into play cheaply and quickly if we draw him. So, a couple copies of Elfstone are worth including, and I think a couple copies of the Dúnedain ally Son of Arnor are worth inserting into the sideboard just to be able to deal with enemies who can't be optionally engaged. Then we could, if we'd have found a Son of Arnor, perhaps even with that Send for Aid, or with the Prancing Ponies effect, we could have pulled Bill Ferny down and dealt with him. It might have taken us a turn or two to kill him, but that would be preferable to having his threat and his forced effect that raises our threat every round in the staging area. We could have quested, well, it's not like we needed to quest harder. Even committing our heroes judiciously, we managed to sprint through just fine. So, I was also very, very happy with Fatty Bolger. Losing out on Frodo. Yeah, no, not. Yeah, I was very happy with Fatty Bolger. We'll notice that we really didn't use Frodo's ability very much, which means nor did we spend his resources mostly on our own neutral cards, with the exception, I think, of turn 1 when we spent 1 getting a second resourceful into play. So this run-through is not going to be marred too much by the fact that we had essentially an extra hero floating, well, not essentially, an extra hero floating between the two decks. Ideally, when we played Gandalf, we should have hardcast him using Frodo's resources. We could then have used our other heroes' resources to put into play some of the cards that Gandalf drew for us, but I wasn't thinking, and I think it turned out better this way. We get a more clear test without those extra resources being involved. For this deck, like I said, I really enjoyed having Fatty Bolger, a second potentially really powerful defender with Hobbit Cloak and Dundane Warning. Already, that puts him up to 5, and with Arwen, he's defending for 6. I've been thinking with this deck, the Mono Spirit deck, if it might not be worth including a couple copies of Small Target, maybe finding something to switch out for that, just to be able to, well, in many ways, just for the fun of that card. I wonder if this is a deck where Small Target would be a worthwhile inclusion. Anyways, I've rambled on and on about what changes I might want to make long enough, I think. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. Next time, we will be taking these decks up against the next quest in the series. I don't remember exactly what it is off the top of my head, but I'll look it up and put it in the description of this video. So I hope you'll come back for that. Thank you very much, and goodbye.